Welcome to the Arri press conference, NAB 2016. It's great to see so many familiar faces this early afternoon. That's wonderful. And I want to thank all of you very much for joining us for the next 45 minutes. I know the time schedule of all of you here at NAB is just insane. So to have you for a little while here is really very much appreciated. So as always, we have a full 45 minutes program, so I have to cut to the chase right away. By the way, we sent out the press releases this morning, and during the next couple of days we will update our website arri.com with videos, news from our company, so please feel free to go to the website. And of course we would love to see you in our booth in the Central Hall 6537, and you can take a closer look at our products and have a chat with our sales and product managers. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my presenting colleagues, and I hope I get that right. We had a few very last minute additions. So we're going to start with Michael Wagner, our Senior Product Manager, Lighting, followed by Philip Fisher, Product Manager, Pro Camera Accessories. Then we have Hendrik Voss, Product Manager, PCA Electronic Camera Systems. And this is one of the latest news. We will see on the stage Kurt Schaller, Product Manager, Camera Stabilizer Systems. It's very exciting. Then Thorsten Maywald, Product Manager, Optical Systems, followed by Mark Schippenmüller, Product Manager, Camera Systems, Alexa and Workflow. Then Markus Dürr, Product Manager, Camera Systems, Amira. Markus will also cover the Mini today. Unfortunately, Michael Jonas couldn't make it to this year's show. Then we have Jean-Fré Fachon, our Product Manager for Arri specific camera accessories. And a very warm welcome to our dear colleague from Rental, Dana Ross, International Marketing Executive, who will give you the latest news on the Alexa 65. So please, Michael, it's your turn.
So thanks everyone for coming. So again, I'm Mike Wagner, Senior Product Manager for LED Lighting at Arri. And we've got a couple of new products and also a bunch of updates for our LED products debuting here at NAB. So the first thing, a quick mention, is that we have an update to our photometric app that's on the iTunes App Store. And with this photometric app, you could get photometrics for all of our lamp heads, but we've added the ability to also have ballast data, and we've added a tools section where you could see DMX implementation tables, DMX conversion calculator, and a CCL calculator. So that's on the App Store starting today, and it's a free download. Moving over to lamp heads, also a good thing to note is just in the past couple of months we announced an extended warranty for our tungsten products and also our daylight systems. So all of our tungsten lamp heads get an 8-year extended warranty, where our daylight systems, and systems meaning the lamp head and the ballast, get a 5-year warranty. And there's no one else in the industry that's offering these extended warranties, and we feel that the quality of our products is such that we're able to offer it. Sticking with the daylight systems, we're also offering a new ballast in a 2.5 4K high-speed auto-scan ballast. So an auto-scan ballast means that it actually automatically searches the frequencies of the lamp and picks the optimal frequency so that you don't get any flicker. We announced the 18K, the 12 18K version in the past, and then we had the 6 9K, and now we're extending that line with a 2.5 4K. So this will be shipping in May for $13,000. And it's a really great product, especially for high-speed photography. Moving over into LED, the Sky Panel. So the Sky Panel we announced actually at this show 1 year ago. and started shipping at IBC, and we've done extremely well with the Sky Panel. The industry has accepted it extremely quickly, and people just love it. They love the control that they get from it. In fact, these are some of the pictures that it's been used on just recently, and this is just a sampling of some of the major pictures that are using not one or two, but actually hundreds, and in some cases thousands of Sky Panels on set. So everything from Rogue One, Galaxy of the Gardens 2, Doctor Strange, Beauty and the Beast, Alice Through the Looking Glass, Assassin's Creed. Huntsman was actually one of the first productions to use Sky Panels, and then Episode 8, which is also currently shooting, now is using them, and Passengers. And we're just thrilled with the reception that we've gotten from these products. At IBC, we announced a very wide range of accessories to complement the product. Of course, with the soft light, the first thing you want to do is be able to control that soft light and do different things with it. So we came up with a really wide range of accessories. But new at this show, we're announcing a new accessory called the Skybender. And the Skybender is basically an asymmetrical reflector that goes in front of the light that gives you a very homogeneous field over a wall. So you have, basically you're turning a soft light into a completely different type of product, an asymmetrical type of product. And we're able to get very smooth and even distribution with plus or minus 1/6 f-stop over the uniformity over the wall, which is extremely good. It's a very thin profile design. It actually just slides into the front of the fixture, as you saw in the previous image. And it's perfect for lighting green screens, creating color washes, lighting a translight or backdrop, or just lighting a cyclorama. And this is just a kind of an image to see what kind of beautiful, even distribution of light you could get over a wall with this. So again, extending the versatility of an already very versatile product. And then the big thing for us at the show is actually a firmware update for the Sky Panel. This is firmware update 2.0, and we've got 10 major new features. So these are just not minor improvements. These are actually 10 major new features that we're offering, and I'll go over them now. So the first one is, the first three actually are using that USB port in the Sky Panel to be able to stick a USB stick in there and save certain things from the fixture. So the first thing is you could save error logs and service logs to the USB stick for evaluation from our service team. You could also save the user presets. So we have 10 user presets in the Sky Panel. You're actually able to save those user presets to the USB stick and therefore bring them to another fixture. So you don't have to recreate the same presets over and over again. And the third USB function is the ability to save the fixture settings to a USB stick. So you could actually clone the settings of one fixture and transfer them to all the other fixtures. We also have implemented RDM, which is remote device management. And that's a two-way communication protocol between the fixture and a console, and that allows you to do things like set the DMX address, set the protocol, set the fan mode, all of these different things. You could do that remotely through the console using RDM. So no longer do you have to go up on a ladder to the fixture to change some of these settings. Continuing with this communication line, we've also implemented ArtNet 3.0 into the fixture. And ArtNet is basically DMX and RDM over Ethernet. So you could use Ethernet cables and switches and hubs and routers as your data infrastructure instead of the typical 5-pin DMX. Of course, you could use actually both at the same time, as the Sky Panel acts as a gateway. So you could go Ethernet into the fixture using ArtNet and then go out with 5-pin DMX to daisy chain to other fixtures. So this will be a great system to use for more advanced consoles and also for less expensive data runs. We've also implemented different dimming curves into the Sky Panel. So now we have 4 different dimming curves that you're able to select from, including a logarithmic curve, which gives you much higher resolution control over the high end of the dimming range, an exponential curve, which gives you really great fine-grained control over the low end of the dimming range, the linear, which is basically a 1-for-1, 50% of the display is also 50% output. And then the S-curve, which gives you, again, fine-grained control over the high end and the low end of the dimming curve, but not great control over the middle end. So depending on your application, one of these might be perfect. We're also giving the ability to control the fans. So we know that fans are really necessary in our LED products in order to keep the LEDs and the electronics cool, which allows us to maintain constant color temperatures and have a very long lifetime of the product. But of course, for certain scenarios, the fan noise could be an issue, and you want to try to mitigate that. So we have implemented a way to control the fan through a DMX channel, which allows you to not only set the different fan modes, but also turn the fans completely off if you wanted to for a short period of time. So you could actually set them off and then bring them back on after the take is done. Tungsten mode is a mode that allows you to actually match the behavior of a conventional tungsten fixture. So we match the dimming curve, but also as the light decreases in intensity, it automatically warms the color temperature if you have this mode enabled. It also has it emulates the strike on and off effect. So as you all know, if you turn off a tungsten light, the filament cools down and begins to glow. We are able through software to emulate that exact same effect. So this is great if you're trying to match to other tungsten units in your rig, or if you just simply like the familiar effect of a tungsten source. The next mode is what we call low-end mode, and this mode is, as we all know, camera sensors are very sensitive and continue to be more and more sensitive, and so people are shooting at very, very low light levels. So with the low-end mode, we're able to go to very low intensities and still maintain accurate color temperature and CCTs. And color rendition, excuse me. And the last mode is the most important one, is actually we've enabled gel libraries in our fixture. So we have Roscoe and Lee gel libraries, 277 gels in total, and we're able to use our calibrated light engine in order to select these gels and get very accurate color representations. So we could set a base color temperature, either 3200 or 5600 degrees Kelvin. We have best color or brightest, so you can pick between the two. And we actually have a DMX protocol that allows you to select between these. And just for reference, this is what 277 different colors look like. So then these are these familiar colors right at your fingertips, very, very quick and easy to access. That color language that everyone's used to talking on set now is right inside the fixture. So that's firmware 2.0. There are the 10 features kind of in summary. So this is available for download today from our website. We also have USB sticks at our booth if you'd like. And of course, the best thing is that it's free of charge update. So there's no charge. You can just download it from our website and update all of the sky panels that have already shipped can access these brand new features. And with that, that's the end of my presentation. I'd like to bring up my colleague Philip Fisher, who's going to talk about pro camera accessories.
Hello everybody from my side as well. Talking about accessories, here they are. So the first new product we have here at NAB are viewfinder brackets for third-party viewfinders. We are using our mini viewfinder bracket, the MVB1, and then have adapters for different kinds of viewfinders to put on cameras where we have rigs for example, the Sony A7 or the Canon C300 Mark II. And you can see here set list prices which combine an MVB1 and one adapter will start from 650 euros, and they're shipping already. The other new product we are announcing here at NAB are accessories for the Sony A7R2 and the Sony A7S2. We have a pretty lightweight base plate. You have the possibility with a modular system to add a left and a right side arm onto it. And we are taking care of the weak kind of connector in the A7 camera body, which is an HDMI micro connector. So we kind of save it mechanically that the camera and the connector will not be damaged. We are an adapter plate. You can adapt this camera also to our standard studio bridge plate system BP8 and BP9. We're offering accessories as well for the new VariCam LT. We have two different types of accessories. One plate which fits onto the top, and it has an integrated 50mm lightweight support. You can use either our camera top handle CCH2, or you can go with the original VariCam top handle and attach it to our plate. The lower part for the accessories for the VariCam LT is a plate which combines both systems to both worlds of support. One is the Cine style, where you have a BP8 or a BP9 with 19mm rod support, or you can go to this quick lock system with our own QRP1 or the Sony VCT style of products. Then we are offering accessories as well for the Red cameras, the Red Weapon, the Scarlet W and the Raven. Here it was not possible to integrate the two standards into one plate, so we are offering two plates for the button. One is for the Cine style, as I said before, BP8, BP9, if you want to go for proper studio rods. If you want to use the quick lock system, there's another plate which is quite modular, and you can balance, you can change the balancing point on the shoulder pretty easily with this kind of plate. The top plate integrates two connectors. One is the LEMO connector that you can use the Red monitors directly on with a plate when you just plug in the cable, or using the LEMO adapter from Red, with which they are offering. And the other thing we are offering there is an Arris 3-pin connector for trigger on-off. As well here, 50mm lightweight support from the top. We have a monitor bracket which you can push in or put, like, kind of, it's very versatile that you can bring the monitor further to the front for better operation. You can use our handle, you can use the original Red handle as well. All these accessories are shipping in June. We were preparing the suggested kits as usual on our website, so you can see all the accessories existing for these three cameras. That's from the mechanical side, and now it's I hand over to Hendrik Voss for the ECS products.
Welcome from my side as well. I'm the product manager for the electronic control system. It's basically all the camera accessories that include electronics. And we have two new exciting products at this NAB show. The first one is a new motor. It's called C-Force Plus. It's a motor that moves lens barrels in a super fast manner. It can be directly connected to the Alexa Mini, but also to our motor controllers AMC1 and UMC4. And the special thing about it is really that it moves any standard lens very fast. So we had initially another motor that was working very well with the Alexa Mini. It was a very lightweight motor, but we had configurations where you wish to have a faster motor that moves big zoom lenses, for example. So the C-Force Plus is doing exactly this, moving any bigger zoom lens with a bigger barrel very quickly. It will be available end of June for a list price of €2,375. And as you see, you can combine it with the other C-Force motors we are offering, and not only with the Alexa Mini, but also with the small motor controller AMC1 or the UMC4. Another question what we got many times during the last month is, can we get a distance readout on the Alexa, from the Alexa Mini on the WCO4 handset, and we have a solution for this as well. It's a very small, tiny cube, small box. We call it the L cube, CUB1, and it's basically a miniature signal converter, protocol converter, converting a serial signal such as RS-232 to the Elbus CAN-based signal. The Alexa Mini is speaking Elbus, and with the CUB1 L cube, we can now get the readout from a distance measuring device such as the ultrasonic distance measure UDM1, or also the Cinetape, to the Alexa Mini camera, and from there through the RF wireless transmission on the WC4 handset, and the focus puller then can read out this distance measurement very conveniently on the handset. This product will be available by July this year for €750. And here you can see again how it's mounted. So we have it on the Alexa Mini. It's connected to the horns of this distance measuring device, and then you will get the readout on the WC4 handset. It can be combined within the daisy chain of things, so to say. So you can combine it with the C-Force motors on the Alexa Mini in different configurations. And we have information about these new products on our website already. We have also an article in the Arri news, and of course they are included in our configuration overviews. Thank you very much. That is it from my side. And the next one will be Stefan Schenk, the general manager of the business unit Camera Systems.
My name is Stefan Schenk. I'm Managing Director of Camera Systems in Arri, and I'm coming here to announce what you might have already heard from our press release, that Arri has taken over the Artemis range of products from the Vitek Group. So that includes all the camera stabilizing systems, namely the Artemis range, which includes also the new products called Trinity and Maxima. So the gimbal, the Maxima gimbal, which is included in the Trinity rig, and that from now on will be Arri, will be manufactured and assembled in Arri in Munich. And also we have taken on board Kurt Schaller, who is the inventor of the Artemis range and also of the, together with former systems of the Maxima gimbal. And so we are very happy that Kurt and also his colleague are joining Arri. We see that there is a good and new creative tool there with the Trinity rig. We also see that in combination with our cameras, there are huge potentials because of the camera system being able to do much more than just individual components can do, which actually is always Arri's strategy in the last couple of years, to have accessories that you just have heard of that are good working with any camera, any lens, but they're working perfect, integrated in the Arri camera system. So this is also the case here, and we would love to grow that area with innovative and creative new tools. And I would like to now hand over to Kurt to present the whole thing. I would also, before I hand over to Kurt, I would also emphasize something that is maybe not common knowledge. We have an Arri Academy, and this has been set up in the last couple of months, and we have now on the Amira we have a great 5 modules for education purpose. It's not a marketing thing, it is really education on shooting, education on all the things you need to work with the Amira. So the Arri Academy is there. You can go there as a DP, as whoever is interested, and get a great training by Arri staff, but also by external trainers. So this was something I also would like to point out. But now, without further ado, I hand over to Kurt. Thank you very much.
So what we try to show you today is a combination of a good old mechanical Steadicam, and on top we placed a modern 2-axis gimbal, which is one of the best gimbals I personally ever saw. It's a very, very direct reacting, fully stabilized head. So the idea here is that now a Steadicam operator can be in high mode or a second later in low mode, which was in the old days something like a 30 minutes breakdown to get from that level down to this level. So the other amazing thing we can do is we can look around corners, which makes some shots very special because we can be everywhere. The camera can sneak in every level of the shot. We can merge things in one movement, which normally you would need maybe a cut in between. And of course, again, the Mini is the perfect camera for this because we can use a zoom lens, which allows us to take every shot in every focal length without changing the lens. And as you can see, we got a little focus motor up there, so we got a very, very lightweight and compact camera setup. Because of course, in a system like this, you want to be as agile as possible. So a light and compact camera is the right way to go. I give you an idea, the whole package is just 35 pounds heavy, which is not too much. So it's really easy to use, and for TV, even over hours. You can take the head off, and you can use it as a handheld stabilizer. And the next step we're thinking about is that we give you a third axis. So you can take the head off, put a third axis on, flip the head 180 degrees and use it just as a fully stabilized remote head. I can control the whole movement even with a wireless control. So if the operator is not able to do all the adjustments, an assistant can help. We can also, wireless, we can remote the roll axis. So if you want to have a Dutch image while you're shooting, an assistant can do this for the operator. The other thing which is absolutely new in the setup is the monitor position. On an old Steadicam or regular Steadicam, the monitor was always down there. Now we moved the monitor up to the gimbal. So we can always see a perfect image wherever the Steadicam is in the moment. Because if the monitor would be on the old position now, we would not have any chance anymore to see anything. Which again is a nice thing about the Arri workflow, because this could also be the new little starlight with a touch pen, which allows me to control the camera. So I can do little adjustments while I'm still in the Steadicam. Because, you know, it's not easy to get in and out in the harness. So this is really all about workflow in the end, because we try to make it as easy as possible for the operator to operate as long as possible. So when you want to see more demonstration, just come to the booth. We can do a lot of funny things at the booth to give you a better idea what is possible. So thank you.
Well, I'm Thorsten Maywald, the product manager of Arri Lenses, and as you can imagine, this year is the year of anamorphics, and we have also some news in the field of anamorphics. On the wide end and on the longer end, we have the 28mm master anamorphic with a t-stop of 1.9, and on the longer end, we have the 180mm with a t-stop of 2.8. As you can see, both lenses are quite compact. The front diameter of the 180 is 95, like all the other lenses in a row, and the 28mm, it has a 114mm front diameter. Both lenses quite compact. They are ideal for handheld, or let's say for the Trinity system, for our new baby, what you have seen just before. And well, the 28mm lens, it's an extremely difficult lens to make, and because the angle is so wide, correction of distortion is quite complicated, and I think we have managed it in a very good way. And so it shows the same style, the same image style like all the other anamorphic lenses. The price is 34,900 euros, and shipping is later in 2016. And the 180mm, which is very famous for a very smooth and pleasant bokeh. It's very silky. You can see it at our trade show booth when you're coming to our booth. Directly at the front of the booth in the first row, we have a camera, an Alexa XT camera with this lens. But there's something else which is very special. You can combine this lens with either the 1.4 extender or the 2x extender, and can convert the 180mm to a 250 or 350 focal lengths. And this brings me to the point that we have 9 different prime lenses and 11 different focal lengths, and this is quite a large portfolio what we have. And you get for all of these prime lenses also dedicated flare sets. And every flare set gives you 3 more different looks. So with 11 focal lengths, we have 44 different looks. And this is a huge portfolio, and I think it can solve almost every situation on set. Well, this is from my side, and I think next is Mark Shipman-Miller with some news from Alexa.
I'll make it quick because we have a lot of stuff. As you may have noticed, Arri is growing and we're taking on new products, and we also have a lot of our own products here, so it's an exciting time. I'm starting with the very first slide I showed you in June of 2010 when we introduced the Alexa, and simply because those are the main bullet points and they have held true until today. Specifically, the last one, the open future-proof architecture, has allowed us to have 7 major software updates for the Alexa, as well as we're in the 3rd generation of the hardware now. And that means that with the current Alexa, we can take care of all the current trends. We can make future-proof images for HDR, that's high dynamic range, for 4K, high frame rate, and anamorphic, because Alexa has the highest dynamic range, makes beautiful 4K images, runs up to 120 frames a second in full image quality, no line skipping, no voodoo. And we use a tall 4x3 sensor, which is unique. No other camera has that. That's ideal for anamorphic shooting. Now with the Alexa SXT, we have 6 new features. I introduced those at IBC and NAB last year. I just want to briefly talk about what is new this year. So starting with the recording formats, we have a total of 14 recording formats in the Alexa. 8 we inherited from the XT, and then we have 6 new ones. 2 I already introduced. They are the 4K recording formats. But then we have four new recording formats. In-camera ProRes 2K anamorphic. That allows me to shoot with ProRes and anamorphic lenses, and the camera does the D-squeeze in camera. So you walk away with a perfect CinemaScope ProRes image, either in 2K or 4K. This should make shooting anamorphic less expensive than if you had to shoot with Arri RAW. Next, we have OpenGate ProRes 3.24K. We have all the formats in the SXT in ProRes as well as in Arri RAW. So OpenGate is now available in ProRes also. And then we have Arri RAW 3.2K. This is the largest sensor area that can still be covered by Arri Super 35p mount lenses, and we can reach 120 frames a second. I'm particularly excited about this one because I think this will replace Arri RAW 2.8K as the standard Arri RAW feature film shooting format. Then we have a new look management system, which is completely new architecture with a completely new look file, new tools. And one of the things that allows us to do is we can have HDR monitoring now coming straight out of the Alexa. A 5-year-old could do it. You push 2 buttons, you choose an HDR file, and the Alexa outputs high dynamic range images that are perfect for the new high dynamic range monitors. But there's more we can do. We can do live grading on the set, where the Alexa replaces the LUT box. And I'm very happy to say that already a lot of software manufacturers have adopted the standard, and we have 5 software manufacturers now, from Pomfret Live Grade to Technicolor DP lights, that we have actually at the booth. So come take a look at them. They can live control the color the camera makes. We can also do automated dailies. The metadata always lives, the color metadata always lives together with a file, with the Arri RAW or the ProRes file, and then when you go to your dailies software, they can use that to make dailies that look exactly like what the DP or the director saw on the set. Further down the line, if you go to editing, same thing. The look file lives in the metadata, and the 3 big nonlinear editing programs already know how to handle this footage, and this is nothing new. We had this with the Amira for quite a while now. But now we also have that with the Alexa. So this is a very tightly integrated end-to-end look management that's very transparent for the users, simple to use, but also allows a wide range of radically new looks. Then we have super flexible on-set monitoring. We have 4 independent monitor outputs, and the Alexa can be switched between Rec 709 and Rec 2020 output. So you have a new Rec 2020 monitor on the set, be that standard dynamic range or high dynamic range, the Alexa has got you covered. And last but not least, we've announced last year an upgrade program for owners of XT cameras to SXT. And we now are very happy to say that this can be done locally in Munich, New York, Hong Kong, Beijing, and London. If you have any more questions about the Alexa, come see me. That, by the way, is Chivo on The Revenant, movie that won 3 Oscars, and one of them for Best Cinematography. We're very proud of that, even though we just built a camera. You know, we didn't walk around the snow up there in Calgary. They did the hard work. That's it. Come see me at the booth if you have any more questions about Alexa. Thank you.
Okay, hello, my name is Markus Dürr. I'm the product manager for the Amira camera system. On the Amira side of things, we have adjust our marketing message, so seeing all the various type of production types from our customers are using the Amira with. We walked away from the documentary style and have a new marketing claim now, which says go anywhere, shoot anything. So this is a list of typical Amira production for smaller crews, for single operator productions. On the Amira SUP 4.0, which we're showing here on the show, we have the new Super 16 sensor mode. So we're using a sensor crop covered by the Super 16 image circle and scale that to HD. The standard image circle of a Super 16 lens is 14:5. We're using 15:1, so there's a slight increase in the image circle. So we haven't seen many lenses not working with that in terms of vignetting, but it's always advisable that you do some testing on the lenses. You can record that in any ProRes flavor, and you can record up to 200 frames. With ProRes 444XQ, it's 120 frames limited. You can use optional denoising, and you can also increase sharpness in detail within the camera. We have a new tool, which is the CCP1. It is practically a viewfinder without an eyepiece. So you have full menu access, full access to the home screen, and you have also a live image. So that can be used instead of a viewfinder, and but it can also be daisy-chained between the camera and the viewfinder. So you can put that on the right-hand side of the camera for an assistant standing on the other side of the camera, having full access to the settings. The price for a set with cable is 2,845 euros. A new function on the zoom function of the viewfinder is that you can now select the position of the zoom in, so it's not only centered or upper third, you can also select the corners or the sides of the image. The SDI metadata is now common with all Arri cameras, so it's the same data included with clip name and everything, plus additional data in terms of image sharpness, details, and looks. There are various improvements on the UI, a Wi-Fi user button, which we'll see later on the Mini, which makes sense there, and also the ability to have longer exposures than 1/24 of a second. On trans-video monitor support, there's now more control with a little trans-video monitor. You can have playback control, start-stop record, and also the use of user buttons. What we're showing here on the show is a multicam setup. This is a function we introduced with SUP 3.0, but we're seeing a lot of traction, a lot of momentum with that functionality. We have done some adjustments in the functionality, some improvements. We are showing a fiber solution on the booth, which comes from TTS, a UK company, which is a very slim and very cost-efficient solution. And as said, we're seeing a lot of traction for that functionality. Just a few examples. Just recently in Munich, the Bayerische Rundfunk has done a production from a live music show called Heimatsound. They are using their existing equipment, which was a telecast system. They had all the other gear, they had the cameras, so they had zero investment in doing that production. And they recorded the whole show with like 4 cameras and using the ENG PL lenses. It was a very successful, very smooth production, and it was also visually a very appealing result. On the other side of the world, in China, there was a production called I'm a Singer. It's a huge event in China. You see that the viewing rate of 45% is pretty much unbelievable how many people that saw. They used Sokong Fiber Systems, which is a Chinese company using their own RCPs, and a variety of different lenses. Just quickly, what makes the multicam specific? What are the USPs? It's a very flexible system. You can use different kind of fiber systems. You can also use other systems. There's also possible like IP system or wireless system. It's a very complete solution for multi-camera production. You have all you need, including tele and return and channel lock, all the stuff you need. You can record in parallel on cards. That's what a lot of people are doing. That not only that they send the signal through the fiber, they also record in parallel on the C-fast cards, like in a lock-C mode or something. And it's really affordable, as mentioned on the VR side. There was zero investment, but you can scale that to whatever you need. All right, same SUP for the Mini. A lot of functionality is shared between the two cameras. With Mini now, lens data archive is supported for lenses which are not supporting the LDS interface, and there are also improvements on the ECS side of things, the electronic control systems. We have improved matrix for the SDI outputs, so that you can have two 1.5G outputs when you're in UHD mode. There's support for the L-Cube, which Hendrik introduced in his presentation. The Wi-Fi power toggle is something, sounds like a little thing, but it's important for drone users because they can switch off the wireless when the signal interferes with their remote control. The Super 16 recording mode applies it the same way like it does for the Amira. Same for the Starlight improvements, which I mentioned in the Amira part. The SDI metadata is also shared between both cameras, and the switchable zoom positions are also available on the Mini. The CCP1, which was covered in the Amira, same way supported with the Mini camera. And the big part on the 4.0 SUP on the Mini is, of course, the 4x3 license key. You have 4x3 ProRes recording modes, which is the 2.8K straight recording. It's a 2.39 2K anamorphic recording. That's like Mark mentioned for the Alexa, that you have a de-squeeze in camera, so record the squeezed camera, the squeezed image directly in the camera. And you have an HD anamorphic mode, which cuts the squeezed image, the de-squeezed image, to an HD cutout, so you lose some image on the side, but you have an HD, then anamorphic style HD recording. The Arri RAW license key allows for the standard 16:9 2.8K Arri RAW MXF recording, and with both licenses you have open gate recording for 3.4K Arri RAW MXF. Quickly, capacity is 2.5 gig, 14 minutes in open gate and 24 minutes in 2.8K recording. Maximum frame rates, 50 frames in 2.8K, 120 in the de-squeezed format, in the anamorphic format, same for the HD format, and 48K for the 4x3 2.8K and 30 frames for the 3.4K MXF Arri RAW recording.
So the camera was launched in the fall of 2014, and with a plan to build 30 units. Within the first year, the camera was used on 22 productions, 11 of which were main unit. The others were used for just selected sequences. With the high utilization, we decided to build an additional 40 cameras, which is happening now. And here at NAB, we're announcing that the processing vault, our Alexa 65 processing lab, has a firmware upgrade that's allowing it to process 40% faster. During the year, we had upgrades that were the 2 terabyte drive that was offered, which allowed us to get 40 minutes of recording time instead of 11. And the internal filter package was also introduced. So we continue to have a really good working relationship with IMAX. Our partnership is very important. The first film that's going to be released under that partnership will be the Marvel Captain America 3 Civil War. And then later in the summer, the Clint Eastwood film, Sully, was used for main unit on the whole movie.